if that's going to be to ask the question, but which
Um, Let me see. I think Madonna, Queen, Rolling Stones, Rita Lee, Whitney Houston. Yeah, I think those are my favorite that are some of them are still alive, so I still listen to their music when they put out some music these days. But yeah, I think those are my favorites. Paul McCartney too. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it.
okay, interesting. So now that we are live on YouTube, we can start. And I'm going to start introducing myself so you can know a little bit more about me. And I ask you to do the same thing after me, okay? So I'm El Tavares. I'm from São Paulo. I live here. I like to study languages. I study more than just English, and I intend to work with the languages too in the future as a translator, interpreter, something like that. I love music. I love dogs. I love eating, and that's it about me. What about you?
Wow, nice. Nice to meet you, Mel. I'm Maria Luisa, but everyone calls me Malu. Let me just change my name here. Okay, now it's done. I'm from Minas Gerais. I'm 25, almost 26. Just like you, I also love dogs. I also love learning languages. I also love eating. I don't work with foreign languages today, but I really like it and I want to improve my English and other languages as Spanish and French. But I'm focusing on English first, so then I'll be able to learn the other ones.
Okay, I see it. That's interesting. You study French too? I do study French.
Nice. And I studied French in the past, not now. I'm focusing 100% in English first, so then I'll be able to return my studies in Spanish and French. But here in Talk and Talk community, no, it's just English. I'm focused on this one because I don't have the time now to focus on three like different languages. I just have to have one focus.
Okay, interesting. That's amazing. So I'm going to say some things about the platform real quick, and then we can start the real conversation here. So Talk and Talk is a platform where we can practice English, Spanish, Italian, French, and Mandarin. In the future, we'll have other languages, probably. And here is a safe place to communicate, to express our ideas, and to make mistakes. We are not here to judge anybody. We are here to make mistakes, to learn from each other here, and that's it. Just to remember, this is a conversation 100% in English. Of course, we can say some Portuguese words here sometimes, but it's mainly in English. So I didn't say it, but I'm not a teacher too. I'm just a student as you, and I'm not here to teach you anything, but we can learn a lot from each other. Okay, so that's it. We now can start with the questions. Can you read and answer the first question, please?
Let me see here in the chat. Okay. Okay, introduce yourself. We did this. What artists or bands from the 80s do you know? You wanna answer first?
You can.
Or can I? Okay.
Yeah.
As I was saying, okay, this one we already talked about, right? But yeah, I'll repeat it. So Rita Lee, Madonna, um, Michael Jackson, Queen, Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, David Bowie. There are a lot. There are a lot of them. The Brazilian ones too. What about you?
Yeah, like I really like this. Like Michael Jackson, for me, he's one of the best
Yeah,
artists in the world, but also Queen that you mentioned it.
I love Queen too.
Yeah, and other artists too. Like let me see. There were like some rock bands that
Hmm.
were amazing. Bon Jovi, that was the
Yeah,
great too. And you know, like Depeche Mode, I don't know if that's the name,
Uh-huh.
but I really like this. And I don't know the name of the band, but it was the Don't Stop Believing. All of that songs, I really like it. It's
I know, but
mainly
I don't remember the name to the
it's
band.
mainly in English that I'm used
Mm-hmm.
to listen to
Me too.
kind of songs. But these are incredible artists in general, and I do have this feeling, as I said before, the here on YouTube, but I have this feeling of being
Me
nostalgic, and I
too.
think it's great to have this. If I was at a disco, I don't know, that would be
Uh-huh.
great, like that um loses, I forgot, the lights, call
Uh-huh.
different lights. You know, I feel like that would be great, everybody to be united and be together and have this old memory together one more time.
Yeah. People say a lot of good things about the 80s. And I mean, like related to the parties, how people were nice to each other and things like that. So I feel like it was a great time. Of course, there were a lot of problems, a lot of racism, sexism, but we just delete this part and focus on the good things.
Yeah, there was too. I'm not sure if that was the 80's, but Guns N' Roses too. Like my mom was obsessed with them in the
They're
80's.
really good.
Yeah, and all of that, I think it's great for us to kind of remember, have this feeling, you know.
Yeah.
And about the second question, do you have a favorite 80s song? If yes, which one? Is it, and why do you like it?
I That's hard. I don't even know my favorite song from nowadays. Um, Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. I love this song. It causes me like many feelings. I don't know. I feel good when I listen to this song. What about you?
Yeah, let me see. There are many different songs that, you know, it's more I got used to it by my parents, that while they listen it, of course we get this influence of them. But I'm just seeing here in my playlist which artists there are, because I really like it. It's like a playlist for a long travel on the road
Uh-huh.
by car with your family and listening to the songs. I really like
Sounds
it.
fun.
Yeah, and like let me see, one favorite song. I don't think I have one, but like Depeche Mode, I like this kind of song of the band, Michael Jackson. And there was like Aha too. I don't know if you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that different ones that I really like it. Bon Jovi and yeah, let me see. Just some more things. But that's it for me. I really like it, and I intend to listen more to it and get to know more, because I just listening to it. So now I intend to get to really know more about the artists, not just to
Yeah.
listen to it, but really truly know.
I'm thinking, I don't even know if the song I said is from the 80s. Let me check.
Which one?
Bohemian Rhapsody from
Oh,
Queen.
okay.
It's not from the 80s. It's from the
Nirvana.
70s.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so I would say my favorite song from the 80s is Lança Perfume by Rita Lee. Because this one is not from the 80s. So I can go with this one.
No, okay. Some more artists that I'm seeing here. Aha, Desireless, Cyndi Lauper, Pearl Jam. Like all of this. I think it's great to see it. To Tears for Fears too. You know, I think it's great to have
Yeah.
this memory, even though I didn't live it, but you know,
Yeah.
you imagine that. It's
Yeah,
great.
me too. I think that too.
Very nice. And about the third question, how did people listen to music in the 80s?
Probably radio and those tapes, cassette tapes.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if vinyl records. I don't know.
I think before that,
Before,
I
right?
don't think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm, yeah, I don't think CDs were a thing.
Yeah, I think
I'm
maybe
not
that
sure.
was later. I don't know.
Yeah, probably those cassette tapes then.
Yeah, I think even though there wasn't so much technology in that epoca, I don't know how to say epoca, but in the
Time?
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that was what made the generation the 80s so specific, because they could have a little bit of that technology that they had at the time
Mm-hmm.
to listen to music, to that kind of songs and all, but also to enjoy life out of the technology, because nowadays it's
Yeah.
so everywhere. It's everywhere. We look, we don't go around without the phone. So I think
Yeah.
it's completely different, and I think that was a great time to live and to have the both experiences, because now people from the 80s can live the life with technology too.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the people that could have both side of it
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. My parents are, I think our parents are examples of these. They and they even struggle with technology.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, and then they ask us to help them with that. But I think
Yeah,
that
all
was
the time.
yeah, just ask simple things that for us it's simple, but for them maybe it's not so simple. So now
Yeah.
they have to ask, and that's weird to think that maybe in the future we will be that kind of person that will ask other people to
Yeah.
help.
I think about this a lot. Like there are some things that from generations that are younger than us that are already like too confusing to me. I can't understand. Um, so it's probably gonna get a lot of worse in the future.
Yeah, and we will be almost like the people that we avoid now, like we don't want to be today,
Yeah.
but we will be, it's basically sure that we will be that kind of person. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's awful. But yeah, can you read and answer the next question, number 4, I think?
Okay. Can you think of any iconic music video from the 80s? I think Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. I think this was an ATEM, and the music video is pretty cool too.
Yeah,
What about you?
there are moments like where I just let some music, we just search music from the 80s, and that let that be. So
Uh-huh.
that song is really, it's always there, and I really like it. Like I think for the time in the 80s, that was a great, that was different for them, because I
Yeah,
think they weren't used to that kind of music video.
yeah,
So I think that too, and also I think Thriller by Michael Jackson. That was, I don't know if that was in
yeah.
the 80s, but that was a
Let me
huge
see.
thing too. That was a
Little
huge
Michael Jackson.
even no event. Yeah,
It was from, yeah, it was from the 80s,
no,
1982.
yeah. I think that was a boom, a shock for everybody too.
Yeah.
That we listened to people to talk about it, and that's crazy. I would love to have lived in that time to live that, to be able to
Uh,
go to Michael Jackson's concerts. I don't know.
yeah, it was probably something very that I don't know how I would say this, but something that would cause a really big impact, something that you would remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and if that was today, like this, that huge events that they had in the earlier, I think that would be even stronger because we have technology now. The things would be so
Yeah,
much different and so much more spread around the world. I think
yeah.
like they were already so famous then,
Hmm.
and imagine now how would that be?
Yeah. Probably Banco Itaú would bring Michael Jackson to do a concert in Copacabana.
Yeah, I would be there, sure, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, I really like it. And about the next question, let me see, number 5. Do you know any famous concerts or music events that happened in the 80s? Do you know any?
Rock Rock in Rio.
Yeah,
I don't know. I only know this one. I don't know music events from the US or the UK. I don't know in the 80s, but in Brazil I know Rock in Rio. It was really iconic even back then.
yeah. The I don't really know events, let me see, music events that happened in the 80s, but I know that there was Rock in Rio, maybe in that time, and that was like everyone would go crazy to go there
Yeah.
to be there somehow, and that's interesting to know, like to realize how people get crazy and do anything to be there, if
Mhm.
that's their idol, if that's their idol, yeah, idol, and
And it's still like this now, you know. People still get crazy to be there. It's it's really big.
yeah, and we see the lines. I don't know, the amount of people waiting like days, many days
Yeah.
to be in the front line, front row, I think. And just to be there, and I would like to do that, but I
Me
think
too.
so much like, would I really do that, because it's so exhausting to be there. I think more of that side. But if I could, depending on the artist, I think I could consider, because I have
Yeah.
other things to do too. So will I stop 1 week just to be there? Maybe not.
But I feel like even though I'm young, I really feel like I don't have physical conditions to do things like that because I just really can't think of myself sleeping there to get tickets or waiting for the gates to open for like a whole week. I can see myself doing these kind of things like on the day of the concert, being like in the front row. You can't go to the bathroom, you can go out to drink some water because they will steal your place. I don't know if I could handle this. I pee all the time. I go to bathroom all the time. Like I wouldn't do this. But yeah, I really admire people who can do this because it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of discipline. Like I can't imagine me talking to my boss like, "Hey boss, I'm camping for 1 week because of Rock in Rio." She would like, "Okay, bye. No, you're not in the company anymore. You're fired."
Yeah, recently I went to an event about sales, about entrepreneurism, maybe, and I had to wait in the line, in a huge line, for 2 hours to until the gates open, as you said, and it was already exhausting. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't chairs for us; we had to be there stand up all the time, and then when we enter the place, there was chairs, there were chairs, but the whole process, I think it's very stressing. It
Yeah,
stresses a lot, and I don't know if I could handle that too. I think it takes
me too.
too much energy and
Yeah.
other things too.
And one of the things I hate the most is to wait. When I have to wait a lot, I'm just stressed. I can't. I hate to wait.
Yeah, me too. I think it's, it's your idol. You don't want to wait. You want to be there with you. And when you imagine yourself being the one that they pick from the crowd, and you go
Yeah.
up on the stage
Ah,
and they
this is a
talk to you.
dream.
Yeah, that
This
would
is a
be
dream.
great in everyone's dream, but we know it's not possible for everyone.
Yeah.
So can you read
Okay.
and answer the next question?
Number 6, right?
Right.
What were some fashion trends related to music in the 80s? I know fashion trends, but I don't know if they are directed related to music. I think of those leather jackets. I think they were really famous. Those big hairs, like really full. Um, real colorful outfits. Strong makeup, really colorful makeup. What else? Let me think. I feel like animal print was something at this time. Like onça and zebra, I think it was a thing. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't know anything else.
All I think about that, I think it's the many colors that the girls especially used to wear. The hair that you said,
Yeah.
of course. I think one representation of that is the Cindy Lauper
Uh-huh.
Cindy Lauper's song music video about girls don't just want to have fun,
Yeah.
because they show there that all of that things that they had at the moment, and it was crazy. Like the music video that they had was with less quality, like the
Mm-hmm.
camera and all, but it was so fun to watch,
Yeah.
to see, and to imagine yourself there too, enjoying all the song. And I think that was great, and that shows us the the way that they lived, basically all of that
Yeah.
simplicity that they have, but just
Yeah.
wanna have fun. That's what the lyrics say.
Yeah. I agree. Let me see here if I find some fashion trends from the 80s.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think that's it. Really colorful outfits, big hair. I feel like gym clothes too.
Yeah, tights, leg,
Tights. Yeah.
tights. What's the name? Calça.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Tights pants,
Pants. Yes.
jeans. They wore a lot of jeans. They had beautiful jeans actually. Yeah, I think that's it.
The how can I say, the faixa de cabelo? Maybe. I, I
Mm,
I can believe that, I can remember that sometimes it happens to peers,
I don't
but
know the name of it in English.
yeah, me neither.
Probably tiara. Let me see.
That's a great question.
Hairband.
Hairbands. That makes sense.
I didn't know too. I always forget words too.
Yeah, and for the guys, let me see. Yeah, I think it was mainly jeans. The but in that case, for the guys, I think that
Yeah,
was like the you know, the big jeans,
yeah,
or the
hmm,
big jeans, or just the side jeans.
yeah.
I think it depends, and with cintura baixa, you know, with the
Terrible.
all of that style, different style.
I think it's low waist. Low
Low
waist.
waist.
Yeah,
That's great. That's
terrible.
interesting to see how it was in back in the 80's and how we are now. And sometimes the mode, the fashion trends
Uh-huh.
come back and go away.
Yeah. I see a lot of fashion trends from the 80's and from the 90's coming back these days. Also from the early 20's, I would say. 2000.
Yeah,
Yeah. I see a lot of these fashion trends coming back now, you know. I just hate the low waist jeans. No way.
yeah, me too. I don't think that, like, if a person wears that and wants to wear that, that's okay. But in general, or in for me, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. I think other people look great, but on me, definitely not. Definitely not.
That's nice. Interesting questions, right? And about the
Yeah.
next question, let me see, number 7. Can you name a few popular music genres from the 80's?
I think rock and pop were the most famous at the time. Even like in Brazil and also outside of Brazil. I think those were the most popular ones. Rock bands were so famous at the time. I was even talking with my boyfriend these days. I don't know how to say cunhado in English.
Brother-in-law, if I'm not
Brother-in-law.
wrong.
Yeah, perfect. I was talking with my brother-in-law these days, and he has a rock band, and we were saying that now we don't have like huge rock bands anymore. Like we had AC/DC, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses. We don't have more like rock bands now that are really famous. And in the 80's, it was like a sensation. It's crazy how it changed, you know?
Yeah, and that's a topic that it's always here at in my house because you know
Yeah,
we say okay, in the 80's, back early in the 80's, that was a huge thing for everybody. Everybody was were like, no, everybody was like hockey, like it hockey and all
yeah,
of that things. But what is going to be of that these new generations, because they're not bands like before anymore. So
yeah,
what will they do? They, because they, people in general are stopping, like the new generation don't listen to that kind of song anymore. So
hmm,
what will they listen to? You know, so
yeah,
it's always a bad thing that we see that the new generations are not going
yeah,
to have this prazer of get to
yeah.
know a rock band like that.
Probably like in 10 or 20, 12 years, 20 years, there will not be famous rock bands as these ones. I don't know. Like thinking about Brazil, I think the genres that are most famous here are sertanejo, um, probably funk. I like funk. I love funk actually. I don't like sertanejo, but I like funk. I love pop. But rock music is not even my favorite genre, but I like it. I love it. But it's not the one I listen the most every day. But at the same time, I feel like there could be a lot of more rock bands being famous these days too, as it was in the 80s.
Yeah, I see it like that too. Like, I don't know if the hip hop was already there in the 80s. I think there was
Yeah,
this
yeah,
genre too.
perfect. Yeah,
So I think these three main genres. So hip hop,
yeah, I
um,
agree.
it was, I don't think that was so big as rock and pop,
Mm-hmm.
but it was there.
Yeah,
So I think these three genres were the biggest things there in the back in the 80s. And as we said, these bands are going to forget. People are going to forget about them, and
yeah,
the new people will not have this feeling of get to know them, get to listen to their songs, and to have this feeling, this great feeling,
yes.
and
It will be
that's awful.
lost, sadly.
Yeah, we have to motivate people to listen more to it, so
I
we don't
agree.
lose it.
The Gen Z are not gonna listen to this music, I think.
Yeah,
Okay, so question number 8. What do you think technology influenced the music during the 80s? I think the new music devices, I don't know, just like I was saying, the cassette tapes, I think it was a technology back then. Um, I don't know if MP3 was something. I'm not
I don't
sure.
know.
Maybe it was from the 90s. Let me see. It was in the 80s, but late 80s, like 1987. Yeah, so it was probably a thing more on the 90s, not in the 80s exactly, but yeah, I think technology influenced it on the devices that played music. That's what I can think more now.
Yeah, I think that too. Like for both sides, the artists that produce the music, so they had better instruments and better devices to make the song, to
That's
create
true.
the song, and for the users that listen to the music and had better devices to listen more in more places, not just to be have one radio for a family. No,
Hmm.
the culture
Yeah.
was more spread.
Let me see if I can search music devices in the 80s. Um, I found the name I was looking for. Yeah, the cassette tapes, yes, but they were put in those Walkman
But yeah,
with the headphones, you know? Let
yeah,
me
it
see.
happened. It appears showed in Everybody Hates Chris. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, the radios and the Walkmans. That's what I see here. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's great. They already had some technology to listen to music,
Mm-hmm.
but I think of course in nowadays, like the huge salto that they had from the 80s to now about
Mm-hmm.
technology is huge, is
Yeah.
immense, immense. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Like Alexa. To me, this is crazy.
Yeah,
She
I've never
plays
had.
music, she talks to you, you give her commands. What? This is so crazy.
Yeah,
And I imagine like what will be there in the future? In like
I
30
think that
years.
too.
we'll have a lot of better things. It actually makes me a little bit of afraid what technology can do, from thinking about the bad part. I know there's a lot of things they improve to us, but I'm kind of afraid what AI can do, for example. That's crazy, the power it has.
Yeah, I think that too. Like, it would be great, like if that stopped now, because we don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah,
So
you
maybe
can we
that,
can control it.
yeah, for now, and we can now use it in great ways for now. But how will that be in the future? Will we
Yeah.
control that? Will that control us?
Us, yeah. I think
So
about that too.
sometimes I just try to avoid thinking about that, because if you think too much about it, you just get crazy, you know?
And anxiety.
Yeah, that's it. And I've never had the opportunity to have a Alexa, to get
Me
to
too,
talk to
I
one,
don't.
but it's strange. Like, how does that work? How do you say
Yeah.
something and that just do what you want that to do? It's
Yeah.
it's strange, basically.
Okay.
And the next question, let me see. Number 9. Did the S have any significant impact on the music
80's.
industry?
It's probably the 80's, right? Did the 80's have
Probably.
any?
Yeah.
I think it had a lot of impact. Um, Especially thinking about it was probably last year, like 2023, 2022, that I was like, I love pop music, so I listen to pop music every day. So I've seen a lot of artists um do not doing, but putting 80's beats on their songs. I like I've seen the 80's on Dua Lipa, Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift. They had like 80's beats on their songs. So it's coming back now because it had an impact back then. So like there were a lot of amazing artists, It was a really rich time for music. So I think it influences a lot of things nowadays.
Yeah. And sometimes, about what you said, sometimes you listen to a song and you feel the beat, you remember the beat, but you don't know
Yeah,
the first song released to it.
yeah,
So you get the beat in your head for days and days until you find out which song that was. But
yeah,
that's it. And
that's it.
it's it's different, it's complex to see how that influenced the actual, I don't think if that's actual, but the actual music,
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. And as you said, there are many influences nowadays from
Yeah.
the music in the 80's. And sometimes it's just a mix of emotions, like you feel like you are now, it's a new song, but with a different beat, a beat that you already listened to. And there are this mix of emotions and
Yeah,
feelings. I think that's the proposta that they had, to bring the emotions back, the memories back, but with in the actual way that everybody can listen to right now and feel okay. That's it.
yeah. I feel this nostalgia when I watch Stranger Things. I don't know if you watch. I love this TV show. And it's situated in the 80's, I think. So the clothes, the places, the music, I feel very nostalgic when I see this TV show. I love it.
Yeah, and the TV shows, as I said, were a thing too. Like, the beginning of that,
Uh-huh.
being a thing in the 80s. I think that was together with the music explosion, and that was a combo, everything together, and that was great.
I
Difficult
agree.
to think about.
I agree.
And
Okay,
the
so
last
last
question.
question. If you could travel back to the 80s, which music festival or concert would you like to attend and why? Oh my God, a lot. As I was saying, Rock in Rio, I think was very iconic. I don't know other festivals from outside of Brazil, but they were probably very iconic too. But concerts, as you were saying too, like Michael Jackson, that was probably a huge thing. Um, I think Paul McCartney, and because I think it was a little after like the Beatles were split up, and Queen, I think it was a concert to be remembered. It was really iconic. I've seen some like DVDs of the time and music videos from the concerts, and it was just very iconic, very impactful. um yeah, I think probably, let me see if any other artists from Brazil, like Rita Lee. I think she's a rock star, she's iconic, she's powerful, she's the biggest one. It was probably a great concert too.
That's great. Yeah, I'd say, like, as I said, Michael one is, I don't know, one of the best artists. So certainly, without any doubt, I would be there. And in other rock bands too, like as I said, AC/DC, Aerosmith, and Queens, all of that bands, rock band songs, pop songs were so good at that moment, at that time. And I think people would do anything. You see the so many people there together just to be there with their idol, and all of that crowd. You see how crazy that was, but it's something that we would do that too.
Yeah,
So it's bad that we didn't have this opportunity, but if I could, at least I would do that.
me too, definitely, me too.
That's great. And can you let me see which one did you like the least? You didn't like which one? Like an artist that that was famous at the time, but you didn't like.
Hmm. Oh my God, that's hard. I can't think of one now, like that I didn't like.
Yeah, or a song maybe that you really like a band, but there is one song that you really don't like it. I don't know. Is there
Mhm.
any?
I don't think so. I would have to research and think more to answer this, but I don't think so. Do you?
I don't think so too. Me neither, actually. I think if you start to listen to one artist, you get to
Mhm.
know more songs of them, and you
Yeah,
will like it because they've already become your idol, your favorite
yeah,
artist. And I don't think it's so possible to hate a song from a band that you really like.
yeah,
So I don't think that's possible, but I think there are some songs that maybe we can like least, but
yeah,
we still
definitely.
like.
Yeah. Let me see the a list of 80 songs here. If I see one that I don't like. A lot of these ones I don't even know, but I don't think there is one that I don't like. Oh, this one, Run Up That Hill by Kate Bush. This song is so good. It was on Stranger Things and it was just perfect. I love this one too. But I don't see one here that I can say I don't like. Yeah, probably not.
And that was kind of a trend, right?
Yeah, it was really famous on TikTok when the
Yeah.
episode came out and people were like saying to Kate Bush to come back to her career to do shows again, but I think she's very old now. And no, she did not. But I remember I saw her social medias, like she was so grateful for the song like being a success again, but she said she was definitely not going back to do concerts and things like that. If I was
But
her, I would not too. I'm retired. I'm just tired, and I want to just to enjoy my money and travel the world. That's it.
yeah, was it at Stranger Things? I've never watched it. I don't know if that's
Yeah, it's such an amazing TV show. I love. It's on Netflix. It talks about it's a little bit of fantasy, because there are like monsters or things like that, aliens. I don't know, but it's so good. It's so iconic. I love this show. It's perfect.
I have to watch it. I'm not
It's
really
so
into
good.
watching series or movies. I'm more into movies, but yeah, I'm not really into watching series. But maybe I'll watch it. Stranger Things. Is
I'll
there
send
any
it to
other
you.
series?
Like, um, what kind? Okay, you don't really like series, but what kind of do you think you like a little bit more? Because I like things like fantasy, um, romance with drama, or some, I don't know, suspense. I don't know how to say this, but I like a lot of different things. But I can send to you some of them. I'm putting here on the chat.
Okay,
Stranger
I have I need to have some
Witcher.
advices about it because I don't really know so many things about it. I
Um,
yeah,
Let me see. I'm forgetting something.
Stranger
I've
Things, The
watched.
Witcher.
Yeah. Let me see other one here that I watch. I'm just not remembering the names.
Yeah, yeah, it's complicated when we have to remember something we do not remember it itself.
Oh, there's one. This last one I sent you, and with an E. This is a perfection. It was canceled by Netflix, unfortunately, but it's not like it's strange when it ends. It ends with like okay, it ends okay, like having meaning and everything, but there could be a lot more, but they canceled. So, but it's perfect, perfect, perfect. Um, Let me see
I've
what
heard
else. Yeah,
I've
I
heard
think
people
though.
talk to go ahead.
No, that's it.
I've heard people talk about this one, but this movie is serious actually. But I've never watched it, and I'm going to do that because I think maybe it's great for me to see some news, some
Yeah,
new contents. And being honest, I'm not really into fantasy world. So, for example, I don't know if you have watched it, but Harry Potter,
I love
this
it.
kind of thing, I'm not really into, but I'm going to try it.
Hope you like it.
Yeah, and see how that works.
Hope you like it.
Thank you. I'm going to take notes of these ones, and then I'm going to search more about them.
Let me know
So,
if you like them.
yeah, I'll let you know. Certainly. So now we have just a few more minutes, and I want to ask you something that is not on the list of questions, but I would like you to answer. And the question is, what did you learn today? It can be about the language, an expression, or a lesson of life, anything. Go ahead.
Brother-in-law. I had forgotten completely, and you just remembered me. And also about the 80s, more artists, more songs, and yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that was a great conversation here. A conversation that usually wouldn't have like with anybody,
Yeah.
but it's great to remember these things and to have this opportunity to talk with someone that you don't really know them, but you get you get together because of that subject.
Mhm.
So it's something in common that they have. So I really like it. And I hope you have enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. It was like a friend's
Yes, I
conversation
did.
here.
Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you very much for being here. I just sent the survey link on the chat, so if you can just leave a comment there telling how was the conversation for you. And if you
Perfect.
have any suggestions about different themes, different topics that you want to talk about in the future, you can just leave a message there. Thank
Perfect.
you
Thank you so
very much.
much.
And if you want to be with me again, I have two immersions on Tuesdays too. It's 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., so you are always very welcome there.
Thank you. I love
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Thank you. Me too. I love meeting you too.